What's going on, guys? My name is Sean Barnard, and today I want to quickly show you an awesome new tool in the sports betting space that I've been absolutely crushing with. It is called Bettor In Green, and it makes it incredibly easy to track player prop trends across all major American sports. With their cheat sheets, you can quickly find bets with high hit rates and spot profitable angles. I personally love using it to build small, high confidence parlays, and it has made a huge difference in my betting strategy. So I want to highlight exactly how I utilize it today. And first, let's start by taking a peek at the interface. So as you can see, the sign-in sheet here, once again, that is app.bettoringreen.com. We're going to click the sign-in to get right logged in here. Now, the first thing you're going to notice is the overall dash. You can see a ton of information at the top, such as the odds calculator, the injuries. But what I want to focus on today is the cheat sheet. So I'm going to click that cheat sheet section right here. And once again, if we are going to go to the home, then you can see a ton of information spent your way. But we're going to look at the cheat sheets overall that do pop up here. And here's where Bettor In Green really shines. You can filter by sport, by prop, even select your preferred sports book. So for example, if I'm going to click to select my preferred sports book, let's rock with DraftKings today. And I'm going to use it for the last 15 games. So as you can see, the market kind of resets itself. For example, Justin Turner right at the top of the list here with the under 0.5 RBIs has been a trend that is hitting 5 of the last 5 games. Not just that, but 10 of the last 10, 15 of the last 15, and 58 of the 71 on the year. That comes out to 82%. So a very high hit rate here. And you can see the different odds breakdowns for the different sports. But because I selected DraftKings because that is my preferred sports book, those jump to the front of the line right here. And you can do an interesting odds comparison. But once again, we're going to focus on building out a small parlay today. So one of my favorite strategies is building out 2 to 3 parlays using props with a 90% hit rate over the last 15 games. So a big mistake that I do see people make is building huge parlays with 5 or even 10 plus legs there. While I understand the appeal of the odds, the risk increases with it. And sometimes it's better to hit a couple singles, hit a couple doubles than for going for that home run right away. So we're going to do that today right here with Bettor In Green. So my sweet spot has been 2 to 3 legs max, and that's what we're going to do with Bettor In Green. So let's scroll down a little bit and find a couple that we like. Once again, I like to go for over 15 days, which would be this column here, with an over 90% hit rate. And you can see it is sorted with the most recent matchups here and the guys that are hitting at the highest rate right there numerically here. And we're going to dive in. Let's jump into Daniel Johnson of the Baltimore Orioles here, that he's had under 0.5 RBIs in not just 5 of his last 5, not just 10 of his last 10, but 15 of his last 15 and 16 of his last 16 overall. That is minus 452 odds on DraftKings. Guess what? We're clicking it and we are locking that in. But not just that, because we need 3 legs to do this. So let's keep scrolling. How about Carlos Santana? That under 0.5 runs, he's hit that in 4 of his last 4. A little bit of a smaller sample size, so not something that I am super in on for that there. We're scrolling down a little bit, and let's roll with Austin Martin, who has under 0.5 RBIs in 33 of his last 35 overall, all 15 of his last 15. We're going to hit those minus 55 odds as well. And one more to add it to the 3-leg parlay. How about Jose Siri of the New York Mets? He's had under 0.5 singles in 11 of his last 11, 10 of his last 10, 5 of his last 5. That is good enough for me at minus 500 odds. And the best part about Bettor In Green is that going to add that directly to your bet slip on DraftKings. So if you're to have DraftKings pulled up right alongside you on your app, whether it is your mobile device, whether it is your computer, whatever your preference is, that you click those numbers in Bettor In Green, it gets added to your DraftKings bet slip right there. It is that simple, calculates the odds right for you, and makes it that easy to get the inside edge and overall capitalize. There are some that are very favorable. For example, if I'm going to pull up Mickey Gasper here over on the Twins, he has had a hit in 25 of his last 30 games. He's had a hit in 5 of his, or has not hit a hit in 5 of his past 5. So the under has hit across each of these, also across his past 10 and 14 of his past 15, but still some friendly odds to take advantage of. Maybe you don't want to pay the minus 170 that Fanatics Sportsbook is offering there, but if you can get minus 105 for BetMGM, that is something that is a significant gap. Think about the difference in value for that. For example, minus 105 for minus 170. So I'm going to go right to the calculator and see the difference in what these odds are. This is a single bet here. So if I were to use the most unfavorable odds that are being offered, let's say I'm going to throw a $20, that my winnings would be $11.76. If I was to go back and let me check that cheat sheet once again to make sure I get those odds exactly right with Mickey Gasper, minus 105 is the most favorable on BetMGM. So let's go right back to that. Check the odds calendar and look at the minus 105 odds. So I'm going to type these in, minus 105, and we'll stick with 20. So think about the difference in that. A potential winning of $19.05 compared to just over $11 or just shy of $12. That's a significant gap. That is the difference there. And that is what Bettor In Green provides for making sure you're making the most informed decisions and giving yourself those types of inside edges. But this is what I want to highlight today. So appreciate you guys for tuning in. And the best part about Bettor In Green overall is it is only $9.99 per month. If you follow this strategy, you can make that back pretty quickly. Plus, you get to sign up free and preview the data at bettoringreen.com. Definitely worth checking out if you want to turn stats into wins. Every inside edge matters that much more in the betting space, and Bettor In Green creates that unique opportunity to you right here. So make sure you're clicking the link, checking things out, and diving into all the features that it does offer on bettoringreen.com. The sports betting space is all about finding the inside edge, and there are very few ways better to do that than what Bettor In Green provides. Once again, you can sort for 5 games, you can sort for 10 games, you can sort in the home run market, if that is something, the strikeout market, if that is something that appeals to you. And of course, it did pop up showing multiple, which is a great factor there. We're going to bring it back to all teams for a little bit more widespread, but those are all the factors that do provide. So make sure you're tapping in and exploring yourself on bettorgreen.com, and make sure you are providing yourself every tool possible to give yourself the inside edge for coming off on top on the sportsbook. Best of luck with those wagers everywhere. We'll be back talking with you next time. Peace.